Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, all courtesies observed. I'm pleased to send this message to the 4th GEO Blue Planet Symposium with the theme, Our Future is Blue. La Ville Rose of Toulouse is an excellent location to discuss this theme, as it is this year's European City of Science and is host to Mercator Ocean, one of the members of the EU Copernicus marine system. Ladies and gentlemen, the ocean has shaped my life. From the time of my beginnings in the outer islands of Fiji to my appointment last year as the UN Secretary-General's Special Envoy for the Ocean. Like millions of others before me taking sustenance and succor from Neptune's world, we know there is so much for which we should give thanks. The ocean covers half the Earth's surface. It's the planet's largest biosphere, and it's home to over 80% of life on Earth. The ocean generates 50% of the Earth's oxygen. It absorbs 25% of all CO2 emissions and 90% of the additional heat generated from those emissions, making it the largest carbon sink on the planet. It's estimated that the value of key ocean assets is $24 trillion, with an annual value of goods and services at $2.5 trillion, making it the 7th largest economy on this planet. Yet, as you well know, the health of our ocean is under a multi-pronged attack, from overexploitation, pollution, temperature rise, acidification, and deoxygenation. For some time now, my central message has been that we are engaged in a battle that we are losing on every front. But the good news is that we now have a battle plan, and we are fighting to that plan. I refer, of course, to the Paris Climate Agreement and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, with its 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs. SDG 14 calls upon us to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. One of SDG 14's 10 targets, 14A, calls for an increase in scientific knowledge, research capacity, and transfer of marine technology, all key to restoring ocean health and achieving the 2030 Agenda as a whole. Some of you attended the UN Ocean Conference held last year in New York, when I was the president of the 71st session of the United Nations General Assembly. It was a historic event, with thousands of high-level participants from governments, the UN system, the private sector, scientists, and other stakeholders. The conference proved to be the necessary stimulus for ocean action, and it is very fortifying to witness the massive wave of ocean activism that is now sweeping around the world. The UN has organized 9 communities of ocean action, led by respected focal points to drive forward these commitments with the expectation that they will all be implemented by the time the proposed second UN Ocean Conference is expected to take place in Portugal 2 years from now. I should highlight that one of these communities of ocean action is directly related to SDG Target 14.A on science and technology. So far, it has 551 voluntary commitments and 534 members, with an example of a new commitment from the observing community being number Ocean Action 23965, which is the International Network for Multi-Hazard Early Warning Systems and Global Meteor Alert System. I encourage you to register your commitments and to join the community if you've not already done so. To do so, just visit the Ocean Conference website, oceanconference.un.org, because that serves as an online platform for follow-up activities. The community of Ocean Action and I are also working together with other important ocean-related initiatives, including the Friends of Ocean Action, that was launched at the Davos World Economic Forum last January, and the new Commonwealth Blue Charter recently adopted at CHOGM in London. I should also take this opportunity to mention that last December, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution to establish the UN Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, stretching from 2021 to 2030. With oversight from the Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO, this decade will stimulate the leap forward ocean science must take in order for us to have the sound foundations we need to develop the value chain of research to operations, of science to services. I'm confident that many of you present at the 4th GEO Blue Planet Symposium will play an important role in the decade's ultimate success. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you all appreciate just how important it is that we have accurate planetary measurements and the sound information that they provide. Our decision makers need this information in order to make evidence-based decisions in relation to global change, including pressing issues of climate mitigation, adaptation, and preparedness. Earth observations are also crucial for ocean models and monitoring of ocean indicators, including many of the SDG 14 target indicators. So I'm pleased to learn that Copernicus Marine Service is working to reinforce its in situ ocean pH and ocean model capacity this year, with a view to improving the monitoring of the global carbon cycle at regional scale. This will enable Eurostat to publish new indicators for ocean acidity by the beginning of next year. I understand that the EU will prepare its first ocean state report to be delivered through its Copernicus Marine Environmental Monitoring Service to provide a comprehensive assessment of the state of the global ocean and of the European regional seas for the use of European policymakers, institutions, and scientists. Coming from a small island developing country in the hurricane-prone South Pacific, I can attest to the fact that the accuracy of ocean observations and the warnings and forecasts on which they are based are existential for vulnerable coastal communities and those at sea. I therefore commend the Earth observation community for its work in raising awareness of the societal benefits of ocean observation, improving the engagement with users to enhance the timeliness, quality, and range of services, and improving the synergies between the many observational programs that exist today. As one of the original builders of SDG 14, I can attest to the fact that the Ocean Goals reference to sustainable using is inherently directed at the sustainable blue economy, the global opportunity now exercising so many keen business minds as the responsible way ahead. In so doing, I give you all a heads up on the Sustainable Blue Economy Conference that is being held in Nairobi in the last week of November this year. For the sustainable blue economy to be truly sustainable, accurate observations and data in support of strong science will be vital. So I hope your influence will be seen and heard in Nairobi. Ladies and gentlemen, as we transition to a long-term sustainable blue economy, as we approach the UN decade of ocean science, and as we fight the battle for restoration of a healthy ocean, we must proceed in a spirit of inclusiveness and partnership across sectors, countries, and regions. We will need organizations such as your GEO Blue Planet networks to harness skills, mobilize expertise, and fill the gaps so that the necessary observations and data are made available. We will need organizations such as yours to be nexuses between policymakers and society. And of course, we count on your support along with all those on this planet who are for oceans health to ensure that we achieve all the targets of SDG 14, the ocean goal of the Sustainable Development Agenda. And I thank you for your attention.